This is a response to lacigreen's video called Was Mary a Virgin? I think she overstated her case. I'll give another example of her overstating her case at the end of this video. Lacy mentions several mythological figures she believes to have been born of virgins and resurrected from the dead. None of the examples she gave prove her point. Since so many people today lack critical thinking skills and are not trained in history and classical languages, it is easy for them to be duped by pseudo-scholarship. Perhaps unknown to Lacy and other atheists is that the pagan-parallel thesis was refuted by scholars in the early part of the 20th century. However, some uninformed atheists and other groups perhaps lacking in honesty or historical knowledge are attempting to keep the pagan-parallel thesis alive. No amount of lies, disinformation, dishonesty, and twisting of historical documents and facts will ever prove their point. The primary sources do not support the claims Lacy and other pagan-parallel advocates make. I will now deal with all the alleged parallels Lacy used as examples. She brings up Horus and claims he was born to the virgin Isis. There is no virgin birth and no resurrection in Horus. For more on this, read J.P. Holding's book Shattering the Christ Myth, Chapter 16, and the other relevant material. She claims Adonis was born of a virgin. He was not. The myth says he was born from a myrrh tree, and there is no bodily resurrection in Adonis. The first report of his having been raised from the dead comes after AD 150. Lacy claims that Mithra was born of a virgin. Actually, the myth says he was born from a rock, and he was not resurrected from the dead. Hercules was not born of a virgin, nor was he resurrected from the dead. He flew to heaven on the horse Pegasus. Osiris was not born of a virgin, nor was he resurrected from the dead. He was a resuscitated mummy god of the netherworld. This is not resurrection. Bacchus, also known as Dionysus, was not born of a virgin either. Zeus literally slept with his mother. And the oldest sources do not show Bacchus being resurrected from the dead. Then she brings up Hermes. There is no virgin birth and resurrection in Hermes. There is no virgin birth and resurrection in Prometheus or Perseus either. In his book Riddle of Resurrection, the Swedish scholar T.D. Mettinger says that there is nearly a universal consensus among scholars today that there were no dying and rising gods before the 1st century AD. So the people advocating the pagan parallel nonsense are not in agreement with mainstream scholarship. Lacy said that Mary's Immaculate Conception was documented in Matthew and Luke over 100 years after Mary gave birth. Matthew and Luke were probably written in the 70s or 80s. Luke says in chapter 1, verses 1 to 4 that several had written earlier accounts. Lacy then says that Mark, John, and the Apostle Paul never say Mary was a virgin. She has committed the fallacy of arguing from silence. If you don't know what that means, read a book on logical fallacies or do an internet search. Absence of evidence in one writer does not disprove the evidence given in other writers, nor does the absence of evidence in one writer prove the writer had no knowledge of the evidence. The Gospels and Epistles do not claim to be exhaustive historical accounts on the life of Christ. The New Testament specifically states that Mary was a virgin, and there are no good reasons to deny what the text actually says. Now I want to reply to something Lacy said in one of her other videos from her Go Green 18 account. She said that billions, not millions, but billions of people have died at the hands of religion. If this isn't overstating one's case, I don't know what is. I believe in all of human history, 4 or 5 million people have died in religious wars, but in only 40 years, the philosophies of Friedrich Nietzsche and Karl Marx have killed 57 million people. This was just a quick reply. See the information in the description box. Thank you for watching.